Hi everyone, it's Alex and TJ from Crucible Magazine. We are shells of the men we were 2 weeks ago. How you feel?
A little bit.
Yeah, how you feeling, TJ?
Tired. It's been a fun 24 hours.
Yeah,
With
and then and then July. Um,
it's been a fun month overall. Yeah. So
yeah. So first of all, addressing the elephant in the room. What the fuck happened with the PDF? Everybody got a notification saying there's a released, and then everybody's starting to go, "Hey, it says it's pending. Why can't I access it? It says I'm not locked in," and lots of things. We know the problem is that we released the PDF last night. The second issue went out in July as intended. It was right at the very end of July, but it went out in July, and we released it. And then Harrison, who is kind of like product manager on what we do here and with my other stuff, and makes the Foundry content, uh, flagged up loads of errors. It's like, why is this not right, and why is this a mistake here? And we realised that somehow we'd lost a load of the proofing and editing that we'd done, and
yeah, old version got saved over the current version by accident,
yeah,
and so a days worth of work just gone like that, and didn't even think to look as we were like, okay, we're done. We're ready to export. Export the PDF,
yeah,
uploaded, and then
yeah.
July.
So the thing is that um, obviously we go through the process. We kind of like we when making the magazine, we do the layout and we kind of put all the text in there, and then we proof and edit it and make sure there's no spelling mistakes and grammar and stuff like that. So because we'd already thought we'd done that, when we were looking at it, all looked the same because the layout's right, and so we
Right.
didn't like think to double check everything again, and then it kind of got picked up. The problem is that we don't know when we've saved over it, and we've saved over it and then done more work on top of it. So it wasn't a case of just going, oh, okay, let's get one of the old versions we've saved, because we were either losing the new stuff that we've done or the old stuff that we've done. And so today, this last kind of like 24 hours between the two of us, we have basically been doing nothing but editing this fucking magazine again. Um,
It's
this,
okay. It's okay. We're nearing the end. It's probably going to be like another day or two, just because we want to double check, recheck, triple check everything. So it's gonna be out soon. We were already close to the end anyway, but we're just going
yeah,
through with a fine tooth to make sure it's done.
yeah.
Everything's done. Everything is done.
That's the Foundry
Just
content. Like the PDF we've just released, obviously, so you've all just got access to the PDF. The Foundry content, we're having to redo everything now because we're having to redo the PDF stuff. We had to redo the PDF stuff, which we've now done, and now
extra
we're
late.
now we have to redo all the Foundry stuff because the wrong stuff was getting copied over there as well. So apart from that, it's all done. We're gonna give you a little showcase of some of the stuff. I just realised that I'm showing the QR code and the URL for the digital downloads, so I need to make sure I cover that up before I export the video. Um,
That
so yeah, so it's all going to go out now. Big caveat: this month's been awful. It's been really difficult. We've had loads of things that have happened in real life that have really delayed. That's why this issue has come out as late as it has. We've probably lost between us 2 or 3 weeks of our work
at least.
that we would have otherwise been done. So this, in general, we think we would have been out roundabout on time as intended, which is our kind of like 15th middle of the month. Um, and that has just not been the case. There's just been so much stuff. A big part of it was real life stuff, and then also the print magazine, which we'll come to in a moment.
Right.
Um, but yeah, so um, the magazine and the content is all done. The tokens aren't. There's no tokens been made yet, and we didn't want to just release a few of them, and then people are like, hey, where are they? It's like there are none yet. They will get made, and they will get uploaded to the digital downloads, and they will all get uploaded into Foundry. The problem is that we made these adventures quite big, and there's like 40 tokens that I need to make at some point. So yeah, there was other stuff that's kicked our ass And I'm going to let TJ tell us about this because it is the print. And once we've talked about the problems that we're having, we're then going to show you the issue they've done and then show you some of the next issue, issue 3, which is already well underway. There's like loads of stuff that's been done for issue 3, so we're not like crazy behind. There's just other stuff that's kind of like close behind. So
just a bunch of spinning plates all at the same time, and it's like we have a lot of a lot of things in the air right now, as far as work, right? Some things just they're on their own timelines, but they're all moving in sync. So we've had the delays with getting out with issue 2. We're resolving them, fixing that, so issue 2 is going to be out just fine. But the biggest thing, I guess, is what we would say is like it's been a learning curve for a lot of us. I'm a writer, and Alex is an artist. And so we're wearing many hats right now. And one of those hats that I've had to learn is learning how to set up things for a printer, and learning the difference between digital print and the press print. And understanding the different things between rich black and everything else.
There's two kinds of black. There's two kinds of black. Who knew there was two kinds of black?
Yeah, exactly. And so, and we know this is not something that you guys really care about. There's a certain expectation that we should know this, but just to be completely transparent, we are still learning this. Yeah. But because we've learned it now, we're getting ahead of the curve. It's just going to become that much easier and faster for future issues. This is all new stuff. Frustrating. Still fun at the same time. We love what we do. But yeah, we just like to be transparent, and so everyone understands what's going on.
Yeah.
That being said, working with our printer, working with a massive global paper shortage that is like just crushing everyone right now. They weren't even prepared really originally for the amount that we had, because our original orders were much smaller. So it's like when we actually came out with our full numbers, like, oh, whoa, wait a minute, we need to double check. So it's taken about, whereas before it was going to take like 2 or 3 days to get everything set up. It took about a week and a half working with them to get the paper sourced, to get the PDF properly set up for all the different kinds of inks and colors. Anyway, long story short, it's now being printed. It's going to be printed. It's supposed to hit my doorstep personally. These 2 hands touching every single one of them. Going to be out and be put in the mail within the next. It's supposed to reach here by August 17th. So it's supposed to be done printing sometime this week. And there's 700 pounds of magazines that are being sent over to me.
Like 40 boxes. He's got about 40 boxes of magazines, basically.
Yeah, right. And so then I'm just gonna have a big pizza party with my buddy, and we're gonna mail them all on out. So yeah, that's where we're at with the print on issue 1. Now, joy of joys, issue 2 is going to be coming out much faster. Now that we finished up the PDF for this, once we're finished with this, it's going to be prepped. It's going to get out the door, and we're going to have that ready within the next couple of weeks. So we can get that process much faster instead of taking as much time as it did. Okay, so updates on issue 2, updates on issue 1. Now it's for the good news, the fun stuff. Let's take a look at some of the work in progress that we have for issue 3, and I'll hand this back over to Alex.
Well, I mean, do we want to show any of issue 2?
Well, I mean, they're gonna get it here shortly. Like there's I think we've given the last one we gave out some sneak peeks already. And to keep this one without getting too long of a video.
Yeah, just having a quick scan. Can't go too far because people can just watch the video and just record it. What was your favorite part of issue 2? And then I'll jump straight onto the thing, so we're not dragging on for ages.
My favorite parts.
Definitely.
What's that?
Apart from finishing it.
Apart from finishing it, yes. Now it's done. I forgot all about it. No. I think my favorite things about issue 2. I had a lot of fun with the Build-A-Guild. That was a good one. I really like that. It's a new feature that I've been wanting to explore. Those kinds of supplements. It's not as big a supplement as I would have liked because it's a topic that you can fill a whole book with. In all honesty, there's like having these different organizations and different types of rollable tables to kind of come up with things quick as a DM. Like that's I love having those kind of tools in the toolbox. So that's really fun, but being able to condense it into bite-sized versions where it's only like a couple pages, a couple tables, get that quick and dirty kind of work done. Really liked that one. Think that the Black Skull Necropolis is one of my favorite adventures, one of my favorite maps.
I really enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones. Along with the casino, I love the map on the casino there. That's gonna be
I've literally just pulled up. I've literally just pulled up the casino map.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting because it was because obviously I kind of like skim read everything, but with everything that's happened, I've like had to kind of like deep dive read the casino. It's even better than I thought it was. Like I was like, yeah, this is cool. The way you've put it together, it's very much kind of like playing Hitman, and you've got some different options of things that you can do. It's like, okay, well, you want to get in this area, you can do it this way. You can do it, and there's loads of little prompts in there, or players can just free for all it and kind of like be super creative themselves. I think what we've done with this and the chase is really do something a little bit different.
Yeah.
The chase was my personal nightmare. So I won't say
Alex's foray into writing.
and it's very mechanical. It's doing the chase as an adventure. So there's all different districts that you can go through. But you folks will see this when you go through the PDF. All different districts, and there's the different encounters within each district, and your players will have the map, and they can kind of navigate through, choose which route that they are trying to reach the extraction point or the drop off from where the chase starts. And there's like a city map that we've broken up into different districts, and then they kind of navigate their way through it. I'm excited to see what people think about it. I think it's probably a lot to bite off when you first look at it because it is quite different. But I think even as I've like been going back through it all again today, I'm like, do you know what? I think it's solid. I think
Well, that's the fun about these experimental kind of things is like when I approach the heist, it's like, well, obviously, like I have my ideas on like how I would run a heist as a DM, like like how I would run it, but being able to translate that into a commercial adventure and such. It's researching other heists. I was telling you this, researching other heists is just I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It's just it just didn't feel like it didn't give me that Ocean's 11 vibe, right? And it's the same thing with with the chase. It's like you want to have that like that drive, that like those action movies.
It's cinematic.
Those, like, that chase through the city where it's like you just like constant edge of your seat. And I think you really managed to capture that too. So.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is that I wrote it all because originally we were intending the heist to lead directly into the chase. That was the intention. So there's a lot of narrative and stuff that was put into the chase, and then there were just elements of it that were very difficult to balance because it's a variable APL. The chase, we've kind of like set it up that you can run it at level 3, 5, 9, and 13. Is that right? I think that's something like that. So those are the kind of like the standard APL arrays that we've got, so that everybody can use it. And you don't need to necessarily use this one. You can kind of use any city. You can kind of like design your stuff because the mechanics, the way we've done it is broken down for people to make their own chases. They don't just have to use ours. But when we kind of like, we always intended for there to be mechanics, but then when we kind of like broke it away from it being connected quite so directly to the heist, it was so much of a rewrite. It was... Man, this month has just been it's been awful. But
But
we're on the other side. Yeah, we've got a really good product. Yeah. So yeah, I'm happy with where we've ended up. We've got some new different features in there. We've got the legendary mythic in there, our first legendary mythic, which is just a mythic creature that you can use as a campaign BBG. We're aiming to potentially do that with every issue. Generally, but we're trying to not tie ourselves down to a specific set of features every month because there's so much stuff that we want to try, and when we have issues like this one where every adventure is so big, like there's no small adventures in this, that we have like really, and by we I mean TJ TJ just couldn't stop writing, and it was really upsetting.
Yeah, we went a little overboard on these ones. These ones are hefty adventures.
Yeah,
They're nice, long, big narratives. A lot of mechanics that can be. Well, the big thing about it is like the heist mechanics. The heist mechanics are, and the same thing with the chase. You can take those out. You can take that framework out and just rebuild it with using whatever you want to do. If you so you can. I mean, that's what I always like to do. I like to be able to provide a framework for DMs to just even if you don't like the story that I'm telling, put your own story in and just fill in the blanks with that framework, and you're going to be fine.
yeah,
And so it's like having those mechanics is going to be nice, even if it does kind of bump up the word count a little bit.
yeah. But yeah, so that's something we're quite mindful of, having different features, and then depending on what we do with the adventures, that's kind of going to determine how many different features we have in, which ones we lose. Like this month, we've not got the dialogues in there because nobody's really kind of taken to it. We mentioned this in the last video. Nobody's really kind of like embraced it yet. But this time for it. So yeah, and it gives us a chance to try doing different things because sometimes we just come up with ideas. Sometimes we want an article in there. Sometimes we want an interview in there. Sometimes we just want some hefty adventures. So that's the good thing about Crucible. We've got that kind of flexibility to do that with it. So with that in mind, let's talk about adventures. Let's look at the cover art and give them a bit of a rundown on what we're intending with these two adventures.
Yeah, sure. Which one am I going to start with?
So, well, it's going to open up. The Roguelite Lamp. So I just
you have more information on this one because you're working with Harrison on it.
Yeah. So this is written by the previously mentioned Harrison, who works with us at Crucible. He's having a go at writing this. Just to say, the artwork that has been made has been done by Jonas Nathaniel. He did the cover art for issue 2. So we've got him in as one of our main adventure illustrators now. So this one was originally intended to be our version of Tomb of Horrors, right? It was going to be a Save or Die. Yeah, so it was going to be initially it was the Temple of Sod. So it was the Temple of Save or Die, where really unfun mechanics that can just kill your party, and the kind of dungeon that no DM ever wants to put into their campaign because the players will never complete it. Tomb of Horrors was made as a convention adventure that you would try multiple times, and that doesn't really work with this kind of thing. However, we're coming at it from a very different angle. We have the Roguelite Lamp, so it's basically a genie's lamp, and it's an item that your characters, the characters will own. And when they give it a little rub, they are sucked inside the lamp. And inside the lamp is a dungeon. And the lamp has been... This is all very loose narrative at the moment. But essentially, there's a dungeon inside the lamp. And if you die in the lamp, you are kicked out of the lamp. And that's all that happens. And then you get to have another go at going back in there. So it is a save or die. And if you die, it's okay. It doesn't matter. You get to keep having a go at it. And the players get to say, hey, should we have another go at doing the lamp? Let's do the lamp again. Yeah, okay, let's try doing the lamp. So they can be leveling up and have another go when they're a little bit stronger. However, we've and this was kind of like an idea that we bounced around, and Harrison kind of like really went to kind of like leaned into it. The Roguelite Lamp is based off roguelike adventures, i.e. Elden Ring and Dark Souls, where you try to work out how to defeat the boss, and once you've defeated the boss, you've kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, that's the easy way of killing it. That's the kind of concept that we're going for with the Roguelite Lamp, that you're not just going to fight your way through the dungeon, die in an area, and then next time you're going to have to do it all again. You will uncover new ways to cut out bits of the dungeon. You'll find quicker and easier ways to kill enemies, so you can kind of like burn through the bits that you've done. You can go in different areas, and as kind of like with the chase, this is it's not so much a variable APL. It's more that it starts at a level, and gets harder as you get through it. Like you will reach a point where your players will not be strong enough, well, or without a lot of luck, probably not strong enough
You got to
to,
grind
yeah,
past the next boss.
you got to grind. So your players will hit a thing. It's like, this thing one hit killed us. Is there a way to get around it, or are we just not strong enough? But they can kind of like level up and they come back to it. So it's hopefully a very interesting and unique item that can be placed into any campaign as well. Just a fun little thing. It's pretty big dungeon. What we've got, I think there's like 40 areas in there, something like that, with little side areas and something. So what it will be at the end, I'm not sure, because we'll probably have to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
So yes, we're very, very excited about how this one turns out. However, it is Harrison's first go. There's going to be some involvement with TJ. I've been kind of like bouncing ideas as well. But yeah, pretty excited to see how this one goes. And the artwork is just phenomenal for this one. Speaking of phenomenal artwork, and I'll let TJ talk about this one. The other piece that we're showing off is Murder on the Alexandria Express, which we should probably kind of talk about Necropolis leading into it, I guess. Not necessarily, but yeah.
Let's say it. Well, I mean, it is. It's the Wrath of the Dreadlord's adventure path, and it's a night on the Alexandrian Express.
It is. It is. Yeah, I'll have to check. I think I've changed it, not saved it. God, that seems like a trait that I've got these days when I save over stuff. There we go. Night. Go on.
Yeah. So a night on the Alexandrian Express is kind of a tongue-in-cheek reference to the Alexandrian, which they have a very definitive kind of breakdown on mysteries called the 3-clue rule. And it was really one of those breakthrough moments as a writer when researching different things, especially as an adventure writer, you understanding how frameworks work, and finding the Alexandrian and their no, I want to say article, so their paper, I guess, on the 3-clue rule and the breakdown of how to build a good mystery was really kind of like that breakthrough moment for me as a writer to create better murder mysteries and mystery adventures. So it's kind of like a little bit of a nod and an homage to those folks there, as well as obviously, the Orient Express, Murder on the Orient Express, one of the greatest, classic murder mysteries of all, Agatha Christie. So long story short, it's the continuation of the Wrath of the Dreadlord's path, coming from the Black Skull Necropolis, which is in issue 2. Characters find themselves aboard a steampunk clockwork train, and as if anyone's been following the path so far, there's a lot of things up in the air. Like there's like what is going on? Like you're going to all these different places, you got these orbs, you got this hints everywhere. Well, this is the adventure where everything kind of coalesces, where it comes together. Questions are answered, more questions pop up, and it's one of those things where a very classic murder mystery mixed with a little bit of sci-fi, because we're working on this steampunk clockwork train that's flying through the astral plane. And so you're in space. There's like there's I'm trying not to give too much away. I don't like to give spoilers, but spoilers. For all my Whovians out there. There's a little bit of sci-fi. There's the murder mystery. There's a lot of different things going on there. I'm really liking Bito's
artwork is so good.
Like it just really took my idea, the concept, and so you can kind of see what's kind of going on there with a little bit of hints of that kind of like organic and the cosmic being entity that's kind of like attacking the train. Don't go into that. It kind of gives a little bit of a hint already. But yeah, I'm excited for this one actually, because it's really where the adventure path steps into its own. This is the pivotal moment of the adventure path, where kind of like you're kind of stumbling your way through, kind of like picking up the pieces. All the different players are kind of like made introductions throughout the first three adventures, and then it just comes to a head. Now it's like, okay, this is what's going on. this is the goal that we need to have. This is the threat that's threatening not just the world but the planes of existence. So this is your existential threat.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and this is our Mysteries and Mishaps. So that's the name of issue 3, Mysteries and Mishaps. And so we've got some interesting stuff in there. We've got like some of the magic items. They're all traps and investigation based stuff or dungeon delvy stuff. We've got, I think we mentioned the subclass. Oh no, we mentioned the possessed subclass. We've not mentioned the other one yet. So we showed a little bit of the artwork, right? We showed the sketched artwork, I think.
Yeah, I think we showed the sketch for the possessed. I'm not sure if we showed we didn't show the final. I don't think we had it at the time.
No.
But again, like we have a lot of the artwork already done. Issue 3 is well underway.
Oh, yeah.
Stuff's being written. So as you can see, like we're fingers crossed, knock on wood, we're not looking to have the same issues that we have with issue 2.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully, and obviously issue 3 is the last issue for those that have subscribed to the 1 to 3 issues. If you've only subscribed to the 1 to 3 issues, this next one will be the last one that you get. And then stuff will be available buying individual issues in Foundry, PDF, or print and PDF. They will be available through the web shop at a higher RRP. And so there is a very, very small window that you can actually, can they add on? Are we opening it? So it'd be a tier change, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that's now problematic to do that now, isn't it?
I think that it would need to be purchased as an add-on in the shop in the backer kit shop right now. I think that's still an option, at least for now. Only
Can they do that? Can they buy? They can't. I don't think they can buy issues. They'd have to increase their tier, right? I don't know if they can do that.
Yeah, that is the thing. I think if you already have, yeah, because it's a tier change. But that's the thing about the backer kit thing. It's supposed to be meant for pre-orders and so on.
It's been open far longer than it was supposed to be. So
exactly.
Basically,
when it boils down to it, is the simple fact that once we hit a certain number on the print sales, we only have so many being printed, and so we can't. We have to cut off. So, but the web shop is supposed to be open. Again, as soon as possible. So that way we can have everyone. You can sign up and start getting everything a month to month.
There'll be the other stuff as well. There'll be the STL files. So for this issue, we've just released. We've got Lady Deathbloom, who is the boss for the necropolis of Black Skull Necropolis. Yeah. So she's the boss for that one. We've obviously got the STLs available from Curse of the Sea Wraith, which was Captain Rogers and Tumbles. Tumbles the monkey. So if you like STLs, then they're available. And also, finally, will be available to everybody is the nautical character sheet made by Sinlair. So yes, but yeah, this month has just been told that the shop was supposed to be open by now, and just everything else has said no, that will not happen. But touch wood, it'll be open soon. So there we go. I think that's a nice 30-minute round off where we're at.
Yeah. There we go. We didn't want to take up too much time, not like last time, because if anyone hasn't been able to guess yet, when Alex and I get together, we have our conversations. We just feed off each other's energy when it comes to how excited all this stuff makes us. Like if you haven't been able to tell yet, this is a passion of love for both of us.
It dwindles every month.
Fall in love every morning all over again. You just hate each other by the end of the night. It's like just like your ex-wife.
Yeah. No, it's been good. It's been fun. The learning curve is just not what we expected, but
yes,
once you've learned it once, fine, we're getting there. It got made, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, and we're further along the curve now. Things are going to get faster. Things are going to be easier. We're not going to be blindsided by those pitfalls that we had before, because now they've been worked into the process, as opposed to having to go back and redo work and redo work and redo work 3-4 times to get it right. Now we can just get it right done right the first time.
Yeah.
And not spend 3 times as long dealing with it because we didn't know that, you know,
Black came
zero
in two
zero zero
versions.
zero zero hex code for black on CMYK is not the same as regular actual black for printing.
Yeah, but now we know. Right, okay, we're going to ramble and keep going. So, thanks everybody for checking in. Again, sorry for the delays. And yeah, let us know what you think about the issue now that you've got hold of it. Let us know when you actually start playing some of this stuff. Let us know what your players think. And let me know what you think about the chase stuff. And yeah, we will see you in the next video.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Really appreciate your time. Ciao.
Bye.